Welcome to Tall Tale Tavern, the monthly one-shot adventure TTRPG podcast. I am your tavern master, Kyle, and joining me at the bar this month, we have here to pretend like his character wasn't ripped from a book, Swain. Welcome, Swain. How are you this evening?
Doing good.
Good.
Nice to be here.
Very good. What character are you going to be playing this evening?
I'm going to be playing Crum, a bugbear half fighter, half warlock.
Wonderful. Can't wait to see what that's all about.
Shenanigans. It's mostly shenanigans.
Good. We also have still mad about what Bones wrote in his yearbook 19 years ago, Wildcats founder Charlie O'Hara. Welcome, Charlie.
What's up?
And,
happy to be here.
Happy to have you. And what will you be playing this evening?
Yeah, I'll be playing Valley Jack, a Rune Knight fighter, Goliath, mechanically.
Cool. Great. And we have Scott here, and Scott has sent it through Discord with a spoiler tag because he knows that whatever he writes for this, I legally have to say. The world's #1 block dude speedrunner. That is just not true. That is just
you just said it, so
false.
It must be true. Happy to be here, Kyle. Thank you for admitting it finally on this public platform that I am the best at the game block dude on the TI-84 calculator.
Well, that's it. We're gonna have to stream block dude and fight.
The great block dude race is coming. Yeah.
Yes, everybody knows the calculator game block dude. Obviously.
It doesn't matter if they know, it matters that you know and you said it. And I'll be playing tonight Cassi No Sense and Eladrin. I don't even know how to say it. They're like flower elves, basically. Druid, a level 7. We're all level 7. I'll throw that out there.
Oh, level 7. Good. And then last but not least, especially tonight, Crit Machine taking his turn behind the screen, Mitch Graser, a.k.a. Bones. Welcome back, Bones, from our Diselderly Conduct episode.
Woo. Thank you for having me. Yeah, feeling much younger today.
And this is a special, very special and good episode because I get to take a break from the DMing and I get to play as a character, and Bones is taking over with this story that he has crafted specifically for this podcast. And we are very excited to have you on to do this adventure. And I'm excited to be able to be a player again. It's always fun. So welcome and thanks for joining. And I'll say my character real quick. We're all playing level 7 characters, and Bones runs your home campaign. I don't know if that's a term, but your
homebrew world, I guess. Yeah.
You run a Western setting, and so we said, hey, wouldn't that be great for the podcast? And you were like, yep, sure, I'll do it. And so we are running a Western story tonight, and we are at level 7 with the idea for starting this one was, yes, let's do a Western setting and have us all be sort of like kind of like folk heroes, a few of us. Very excited. My character is a monk, drunken master, Whiskey Waltz. Very excited. I'm excited to play a monk. I've not played a monk before. So yeah, with that, I think we can go ahead and kind of jump right in. And so let's see who is walking into the tavern today to tell their tale. At the edge of the frontier sits a familiar establishment in an unfamiliar locale. It would seem that the Tall Tale Tavern has been doing a bit of franchising. A watering hole of the West that's rougher than the rest. Catch a story of outlaws in which heroes manifest. Grab a drink, learn of legends prone to aggrandize, and hear a tale based on truths overtaken by lies. Like the easy folding spine of a well-worn novel, the double doors of the Tall Tale Tavern swing open as a figure strides through. With a wide-brimmed hat tipped low over his face, dusty poncho hanging from his shoulders, and spurs that clink, clink, clink across the floor as he approaches the bar, the old cowboy signals the bartender, and a bottle of brown liquor is placed before him, followed by a short glass. The cowboy takes a swig and a sharp inhale as he feels the boozy sting, then says to no one in particular, Folks love to talk about heroes in a place like these. The showboaters, gun twirlers, saving the day with daring stunts and good deeds. But them stories don't talk about what the West is truly like, but what that kind of ego boosting can do to a person. Nah, I prefer the revisionist type of stories. The one where the good guys prove they ain't so magnificent after all. And thus begins the Maleficent Seven. Roll the intro.
Welcome everyone to the fantastical Wild Wild West. In an unspecified world, far from major cities and civilization, little towns are sprouting up throughout the desert, dangerous lands in between, and plenty of drinks to go around when you do find a nice watering hole. We're going to start our adventure today in the early morning, but it's already hot. The sun is rising and there's not a cloud in the sky. We are in the town of Little Moonshine. And Little is sort of a misnomer, so the place is often called Moonshine. It's actually a bustling area with a growing industry. There's lots of good hotels. It's got its own train station. There's more than a couple decent places to drink in town, but one in particular is surprisingly busy at the moment. So on most days, the only thing passing through the Smoke and Dagger Saloon is a rogue tumbleweed, but today the hot sun is beating down on a large group that gathers outside the bar. Now the sheriff put out a bulletin to everyone in town, informing the people of Little Moonshine that he had a big opportunity for them. And naturally, with these sort of things, danger was implied. Most of the folks outside the bar right now are scruffy-looking locals. They're geared up in whatever they could find. But amongst the crowd are a few more capable adventurers. Kyle, why don't you describe your character in a little more detail? And as you are standing here in this crowd, what is Whiskey Waltz up to right now?
So, yeah, Whiskey, he is wearing a cowboy hat. He's got long hair. He's got a big, unkept beard, and he kind of just smells a little bit. He is a guy you would see at the bar, kind of sitting at the end of the bar that looks like he's been there all day. And so when he's walking through the crowd, and most of the time he's got his flask in his hand. You know, he's got his flask and kind of taking sips of it here and there. And he's just kind of stumbling through and just, what's all this ruckus going on out here? You know, kind of vibe, looking around.
Very nice. Probably a little early to be as intoxicated as he might appear, but hey, it's not the first time it's happened to
super
someone.
early. So yeah, he's not necessarily like he's not like falling over or anything, but he is like, you know, you can tell this guy likes the drink, but likes
10 a.m. somewhere.
Swain, why don't you describe your character a little bit and what they're up to, what their vibe is like?
So Crum is a bugbear. He has all of his like furry body is like graying in patches and like kind of like gross. Like he hasn't washed it forever, but he's just sitting there with those real dark sunglasses, long duster, and he's just kind of like looking up into the sky. Like it's starting to get a little hot here, but like just almost staring into the sun. The people around him are kind of like give him a wide berth as they kind of walk around him, go about their day, but he just kind of looking up into the sky, and then he looks around and, ooh, great day. Time Ooh, wait. And then like he finally notices everyone else is like surrounding him, and he starts walking towards the crowd with everyone else.
Very nice, very nice. Scott, what's your character doing? Describe him a little bit.
Well, Cassie, let's see here. Everyone's gathered around this area, right? And a feral looking cat strolls up next to everyone and just starts hacking off of what you think's going to be a furball, and then it falls down and it looks like it's dead. It just looks like it's dead there to get, some people's attention next to it. And then while they're looking at it, suddenly there is an elf woman standing there in its place instead, who is laughing at them for thinking the cat was dead. So Cassie is an Eladrin, which is, like I said before, like a flower elf. Much like these other two, I don't think that she does a whole lot of bathing, but she just kind of naturally looks immaculate and clean anyway. Just that wonderful elf genetics, flowers growing in her hair, doesn't wear shoes, beautiful like blonde hair and maybe a little bit of a green hue to like her light skin. She sees that everybody's gathered around, and her first thought was, come over here and mess with them. But if there is a job, she is also interested. So she's gonna start pushing her way toward the same thing, toward the signs to see what's going on.
Yeah, you get a few curious glances at the cat routine. I'm not sure the joke landed, and there's some shocked faces, but mostly people are just, thinking about the job ahead. So
she thinks it went over like perfectly, though. That in her mind, she nailed it. Yeah.
No insight roll necessary. No. You crushed it. Charlie, what is your character up to? What do they look like? What's their deal?
Yeah, so Sir John Callappi, or as he's better known, Valley Jack, walks into town, and I think differing from the scraggly compatriots we've met so far.
Oh, you're not following the theme of not showering?
I think Sir John, the stories for Sir John is Sir John walks through the river and the dirt flies off him. The clouds will come and clean him when he needs it. Sir John is chest out front, the tallest man in this town. Walks up, he's got a big old piece of rail that he has along his back that he uses as a hammer. He's got a tool belt with all sorts of nails and stuff. He's, one of the goes from town to town looking for people who need houses built, who need barns. He's the finest carpenter this side of
the biggest river we could think of.
But yeah, Sir John is a big man, big and strong, walks into town and is just like looking what's up with this crowd. He probably looks to a person and is just like, how's it going? Does someone need some help?
Well, we don't know yet. You're here for the job? But everyone's here for the job.
Of course.
This scrawny little local just kind of like does the whole look all the way up at you and, probably meets your belly button or something like that. And it's just like, yeah, I'm sure you'll get it now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, and just wanders off like, okay, there are more capable people.
Don't give up so easily, sir.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh God.
As this guy's like confused why you're still talking to
this
him.
Guy's going to become the hero that saves us by the end of this session.
The NPC that we love.
Okay. Valley Jack wants to be a drummer. It's not a very good charisma, a flat 10, but we got a 15 on that.
Okay. The guy, this little scrawny guy turns around and he's just like, I guess I don't know what it is yet, so I might as well stick around and hear out the sheriff.
There's all sorts of holes you could fit in that I would never be able to. Come.
I bet there's plenty of holes that fella don't fit into.
Yeah, the four of you might be, trying to catch glimpses of other people here in the crowd. I'm sure there's plenty of very forgettable locals who don't know what they're in for, but maybe there's some recognition. Valley Jack
one.
Yeah.
sticks out above the crowd, but you might be picking up on like, okay, there's some more capable adventurer types that have arrived for this gig.
Cassie gets like too close to a stranger and is just like, holy hell, you see the size of that fella over there? Like, just way invading their personal space while pointing at it.
How far is Valley Jack into the crowd?
I think Valley Jack will start I think if something's happening up front, he'll start moving in, talking to different people. He wants everyone to feel talked to, but I think he's not going to. He also is not going to go stand in the front and when he could see from the back. So
That's just gonna get out. I was like, oh man, I can't see anything. This guy's all the way up front.
Just stands proudly in front of the door. Yeah, he's more polite than that. As you're all sort of trying to get a feel for your competition, or not even sure what the situation is yet, Sheriff Wheeler steps out onto the porch of the Smoke and Dagger Saloon, and he's a few steps up above, so he's able to sort of see out to the crowd. But Sheriff Wheeler is a kind of portly little halfling. And he's got his big 10-gallon hat on and his boots and his badge. And you all have been in Little Moonshine long enough to know that he's not one to pull a gun or anything like that. He's probably going to make a friend and just sort of smooth things over. He's a friendly enough guy. And behind him is a woman none of you have seen before. She's a human, and she's dressed like a commoner, like someone from the prairie. And she is scanning the crowd a bit more anxiously, but stays a few feet back, just waiting for Sheriff to make his announcement. And as he does so, everyone kind of turns and focuses on him. Good morning, y'all. Thank you for coming on a short notice. I see that y'all must have spotted the bulletin that I put up in town. Thank you. I'll just cut right to the chase. We're putting together a bit of a posse, a bit of a crew, a bit of a gang, and I need worthy adventurers, brave folk to, he kind of gives a look back at Ella, and she kind of just gives him a nervous nod, like, yeah, go ahead. Oh, we're taking down the Magnificent Seven. And as you all stand there and hear the sheriff, you hear the, not a real gunshot, but the cartoon gunshot, like, pew, like the sound of someone leaving very quickly.
Suddenly there's just
like,
smoke clouds everywhere.
Yeah. You are no longer in a crowd. The moment Sheriff Wheeler announces the target, people are like, hell no, literally
don't
dust.
give up. Together we can defeat 7.
Valley
This
Jackson
guy counts for at least 4 by himself over here. So.
I would say this guy's at least an 8.
The 4 of you stand there, maybe now awkwardly spread out in the road in front of the bar. But Sheriff Wheeler looks down / still up at some of you and is just like, well, you haven't run away yet, so that must mean you're down for the job. Why don't you come on in and let's get to discussing details. There's payment to be had. Don't be worried.
Right.
Come on in.
I ain't much worthy, but I'm an adventurer, so I'd take down this Magnificent Seven. We got the building right here, and I point to the big guy, and this feller, this furry feller. I think we can take him down. Let's
payment.
I'm all for going in this. This is a bar we're walking into.
Yeah.
All right, I'm all
proud
for
of
this.
you for staying around. Proud of you. Good. I see a lot of spirit in you.
Oh, thank you. Spirits? You see a lot of spirits in me, right? I take out my flask and dip it to you.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
we
give
all
you a
have
thumbs up.
spirits in us.
Oh, what the?
What?
All right, something's up with this feller. But all right.
Well, don't take too
Excuse me,
long now.
sir,
Come on
over
in.
there. You're a bugbear, right? Now, I've been meaning to ask. I've never met a bugbear in person. How does a bear and a bug make a baby? 'Cause it don't make any sense to me.
That is a good point. How does that happen?
Well, I didn't know my mama all that well, so she might have been a bug.
I didn't know my mama either. Maybe we're related. Let's go
Holy
in here
shit.
and play some
You guys
cards.
don't know your mothers?
Nobody knows their mother in D&D. That's the rule.
That's the rule. Holy.
We all had very good relationships with our parents.
Valley Jack had 2 loving mothers.
I think I've seen this guy's mother before at the mountain over there in that distance.
That ain't his mama. That mountain's name is Virginia over there. I know her personally. Ridiculous.
You four settle in at a table. The Smoke and Dagger is one of those kind of like rough places. It's usually quiet during the day. You'll get someone, asleep at a table or just, slowly sipping away at some whiskey at the bar. And there's a few, like older cowboy types in here, but like it's quiet. They don't care. You've got the place to yourself. The one bartender will just, put a bottle on the table. Look, there's no breakfast served here. It's assumed if you came inside, you want a drink, you don't have to. That's the type of spot here. And, but the sheriff kind of like stands there, puts his hands on his hips, and, this woman behind him, again, stays kind of a little further back still, but she's kind of sizing the 4 of you up. And, Sheriff Wheeler just kind of gives you all a look and says, well, I actually can't assume if y'all know about the Magnificent Seven, but the fact that y'all didn't go running means you might be a bit unfamiliar, and that's I think it behooves us to explain exactly what it is we're tasking y'all with doing if you so choose to take the job.
Cassie puts up her hands and they're shaped like hooves. Bee hooves? Sorry.
Well,
shake them back to normal. Who are the Magnificent Seven?
Are they all horses? 7 horses?
No.
If it's 7 horses, you picked the right gal. I can guarantee you I can take care of those horses.
Wow.
No. They're much more ferocious than horses. This here's Ella McCoy. She can explain things a bit better. And Ella kind of steps forward and it's just like, well, if you haven't heard, the Magnificent Seven they were heroes once upon a time, but now they're a big problem. They've at one point saved my town of Violet Creek, and since then have taken over, and they're running things, and they're doing exactly what they had fought against so many years ago. And came here to find some people to help me out, to clear them out of town, and give the people back their lives, basically.
Can I do some sort of, I guess insight would be the check to know if I just believe what she's saying?
Yeah, sure. A read on Ella McCoy here?
Yeah, of course, insight. Yeah, we'll be good. Let's see. Are you kidding me? Fucking roll the 3. I got an 8.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of reserved, and nothing stands out to you as odd about this. Like, problematic gangs are fairly common in this world, and seems like just another one to you.
All right. Well, I say, shit, I'm in. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Crum takes a second and he like puts his finger up and is like, oh, yeah, oh, okay. And he turns back to Ella. Is there like a church fella part of this group?
Sheriff Wheeler kind of gives an odd look and looks back at Ella, and she kind of stares a little more intently at you. You see her eyes kind of widen just a little bit, and she just kind of lightly nods her head and is just like, why, yes, there is.
I'm in.
He hates church folk?
I don't know. Maybe he loves them.
We all got our gods.
Is that who you were talking to right there? Was that your god? What was that about?
I think it was a.
I wasn't talking to
I think
anybody.
I think he could talk to mosquitoes because he's a bugbear.
I actually can talk to mosquitoes, and there are none in this room right now.
He kind of puts his hands on the side of his head and goes, "Oh man, has there been a mosquito this whole time?"
Sheriff Wheeler is just kind of like getting a little anxious and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, the Magnificent Seven. Gosh, there were. I guess it makes sense that folks have forgotten. It was about 7 years ago, and it was a great big deal at the time. But I guess it's sort of a society has forgotten about them as a whole, and I guess letting them just settle in without any oversight was a bad call. You might have heard about the Magnificent Seven from about 62 years ago. That one was more of a big deal. And we kind of everyone kind of reused the same nickname for this gang recently because the numbers, people are lazy in that
That's
sense.
pretty cheap.
Exactly.
If you ask me.
And that's the thing is that the first gang, the first seven, they were kind of just doing a thing that this other group did, but they were all samurais, and it's kind of a different situation. So that didn't get really the respect it deserved, but it's how things go, don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about the one from 7 years ago, so that they're all still alive and well, and they're a big problem. They took out a real bad man at that time. They were heroes. They stopped a very, very bad man, and he was scary, so you know that they're capable. That's what you got to look out for.
Who did they stop?
A fellow by the name of Peter Sarsgaard.
Sarsgaard.
I
Ran a
heard
big
about them
posse.
SARS guards.
He was an oil baron, and he was trouble, and we were all happy to see him gone. He was problems 2 towns over, but now, they're basically doing what he was doing in the first place.
Well, you know what they say, you die a hero or live long enough to let yourself become the villain, right? So,
I think that contextually applies very well to some of these folks.
I'm not gonna die.
I'm all in for slapping some of these, I guess, less magnificent than the previous Magnificent Sevens, slapping them around a little bit.
And if you look around, there's only 4 of us, so we win. We ain't gonna take on that mantle of the 7. There's only 4 of us, so it doesn't fit.
Though there was
So you don't have to worry.
I know there was like a Fantastic Four 80 years ago or something that everybody knew
Another-
about.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that.
Another town.
Yeah.
It's
and then
been long enough. I think if y'all succeed, you should take the
I've
name. I don't
heard
think
that
anyone
they-
would care.
made a couple Fantastic Fours showed up right in a row though, and no one liked
That's the
any
problem.
of those fours.
It's a real common size for adventuring parties and gangs, so it just kind of ends up getting used through the alliteration. But
I've heard a lot of stories with 4 characters in them, you know? A lot of different
I
stories.
think that one of those groups actually copyrighted the name, so we can't technically use the Fantastic Four.
Well, look, while you're taking care of them, I'll think of something clever when you make it back here alive. I'll promise you got a good name for you. As you're all discussing cool names, Ella kind of takes a pull of the whiskey and kind of sets it on the table a little firmly. She seems like she wants to get down to business, and she's like, "Well, all right, you're all in. There's payment promised. The folks at Violet Creek, they'll provide you with anything y'all might need, and Sheriff Wheeler promised some gold. So, well, if you're with me, I think we should get started. And first things first, I think you should hear a bit about your targets."
Yes, please.
She pulls out of her little travel bag some crumpled up wanted posters and begins to slap them on the table one by one. The first one she puts down is a woman with dark curly hair And Ella says, all right, first up, there's Mademoiselle Washington. She was the first woman I hired to clear out Sarsgaard in the first place back then. And she was the leader of the Seven, a force to be reckoned with. At one point, she had sworn the Marshal's oath, but since broken her promise to do good, and she's a big problem. And then she takes out another one, slaps a wanted poster down. You see a semi-handsome human man, and at least according to this illustrations,
Looks half handsome.
Then there's Pat Kiss. You see, he was the renegade, the con man of the group. A proper outlaw, and he they say he once won a duel by claiming his gun was jammed and convincing his opponent to let him borrow theirs. But now he's turned a new leaf, and it's all awful. He started this new church in town, but he made it really elitist and judgmental. It's just, he lost all his humor too. He used to be funny, and now it's major bummer vibes. But he's got a mean streak to him. Slaps another one down. You see just a wide man that sort of seems to fill the frame of this wanted poster. And Ella continues. Then there's Brick Thorn. He's a mountain of a man. And, more like a wild animal. He'd done some bad things in the past when he joined the Seven, but they hired him anyway. Probably a red flag I should have picked up on at the time. He's mostly known by his nickname, the Owl Bear. And murder is well within his wheelhouse.
I know him.
You know the Owl Bear?
You met the owlbear, or you just met a regular owlbear?
Well, I've met both. I've met plenty of owlbears. I gotta say, of all the owlbears I've met, he was by far the least friendly that I've ever met. I can tell you that much. I've met this man before.
Shit, if you're alive, then I'm feeling more confident than before.
Of course I'm alive. Nobody can kill me. I'm never gonna die.
Yeah, you said that once, but I'll just hope it's true. Next up, we got she slaps down a wanted poster. Really muscular, square jaw human, long kind of wild hair. And Ella says, this here's the man from Yellowstone. No one knows where he's actually from. The story goes one day he just sort of, as the sun was rising, stepped over on a mountain and joined the Seven to help them on their quest. From the look of his eyes in person, you can tell that he's seen some shit, so don't expect him to be scared by much or for him to go down easy. Takes out another one. Skinny face of a halfling man. And this here's Bad Lord Bird. Now, once a genuinely good guy, she kind of thinks back and it's just you can tell that's kind of hurts to have to say all these people she trusted can't be trusted anymore, but yeah, he was real shaken up after the war, but he pushed past his fears to help defend Violet Creek, and seems like maybe something snapped again, and killing's all he knows. Best to watch out for his rifle from up in the church tower should we get there. Last but not least is the Lincoln lawyer. Slaps down a picture of a Vidalcan man, a little more than mid-handsome. Pretty good looking guy. Nothing too threatening about him. She says he's been coming and going the past few years, kind of works as a traveling lawyer, nothing nefarious, but never had a really big role in the Seven to begin with, and I don't think he got so attached to Violet Creek, but he's back in town when we get there. That's just one more problem to face.
You think he could help us with getting that trademark on Fantastic Four?
Sheriff Wheeler's just that's a good point. We'll talk to him, because if it's been 80 years, I think at some point it becomes fair use again. So maybe keep him alive.
All right.
The rest of them are wanted dead.
I think I can fix him. She's looking at just how handsome he is.
So wait, we've got Mademoiselle Washington, Pat Kiss, Brick Thorn, the man from Yellowstone, Bad Lord Burr, And the Lincoln lawyer?
That's 6.
She pulls one more out and slaps it down and goes, "Now this one's a little frightening. This Squid City kid." And you see a Earth Genasi. Is best illustrated on a wanted poster. Sort of, it's like a rough-hewn skin. He's the silent type, but you can bet he's deadly. He's notorious for being as quick with a knife as anyone can be with a gun. Look, I know we exist in a world of hyperbole, and of course a knife ain't as fast as a bullet, but he's still quick, so watch out for that one too. Look, you gotta watch out for all of them.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. Now Violet Creek is a couple days ride, but problem is that the 7 are gonna start wondering where I've been after I left. So the faster we can get back there, the better. Sheriff Wheeler took a little bit too much time actually collecting folks for the job. Sheriff Wheeler's just like, "I had to write the poster and then put it up and wait for people to see it." Yeah, well, you could have just sort of word of mouth, gone into other bars and shouted out, say, "Hey, we need a posse." Well, I wanted it to be official. And look, anyways.
I love the poster.
I only came because of the poster, honestly. I wanted to see what everyone was looking at.
Look, there is a faster way if we start riding now. All we have to do is cut through Kobold Gulch.
Okay.
And,
Kobold Gulch. That sounds like a nice, happy place.
Yeah, you might not care about such threats, and maybe it's got a heightened reputation like so many of you have, but you might know Kobold Gulch used to be this dried up riverbed that cuts through a bit of the west, and it's just home to all types of awful things. There's like kobold clans that have kind of settled in and are a bit hostile to passersby. But if you kind of ride through quick, you can bypass any of the true dangers. You just kind of have to be fast. But if you're all ready, Sheriff Wheeler's got horses out front. If any of you need a mount, and I'll be going with you. So I'm ready to head out.
I always want to meet a horse.
You never met a
Ella
horse
looks
before?
at you. Hold on, what?
Are you going to what? You going to introduce me to your horse?
Well, not just that, but you got to ride one. You know that, right?
Oh man, I don't think I'm ready to. Whew. Do I gotta buy the horse a drink first?
Oh man,
No,
you ever sit on a chair before?
He's sitting in one. Oh man,
It's kind of like
questions.
It's kind of like that, but you gotta squeeze your thighs a little bit sometimes. That's all riding a horse is.
And he looks down and he's like, you can see he's like moving his legs to pretend he's on a horse.
You can do it, Scrum.
I think it's nice that you want to be introduced to the horse first. I personally think it's a little reductive to just call them a chair. She would never know the word reductive. Whatever.
Well, I always ask consent no matter where I sit.
Oh, big man, I would never choose to correct you, but it's Crum.
Crum.
Sorry. But please don't be mad at me.
No, it's fine.
so
I'll
big.
introduce you to my horse.
You can talk to horses
will?
too?
Is your horse also named
Anyone
Crum?
can talk. My horse's name is Chamfer.
Did you say Champford or
Chamfer.
What's a chamfer?
Chamfer, it's the like in crown molding where you have like a 45-degree angle cut on the wood. If you look up carpentry terms,
Cassie,
you'll
who
find
has lived her
chamfer pretty
entire
fast.
life in the woods alone. It's like, what the fuck is he talking about? I'm sorry.
Ella finds herself thinking about it too long and has to like snap out of it and be like, "What am I listening to?" And she just kind of like, "All right, I'll be outside."
All right,
Valley
let's
Jack's,
go.
like,
Let's go meet the
looking around.
horses.
Looking around the bar, being like, "Where's the fine carpentry here? Like, where's the like really nicely made stuff?" And just like, I did not make this bar, so
A piece of the wall literally just sort of falls out of place, and a slat is exposed, and sunlight pierces through as you're inspecting the interior. This is not the nicest.
I throw some plaster up there in like 15 seconds. There's no one faster at fixing a wall than our boy Valley Jack.
Yeah. Where'd he get
faster
that
than
plaster?
a Menden spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you guys all head out, there's either your horses waiting for you, or there is a horses for you to pick.
Come over here, TR. And then TR pops up. It's a brown horse, and Whiskey looks at everybody. Hey, check this out. TR stands for the rocks, and he hops up on it. Whiskey on the rocks. Huh? What do you think?
Yeah, you're sitting on the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's rock?
I'll explain it to you later.
Well, Cassie is, when we walk out, Cassie's going to like kind of go to the side of the bar where there's a tree, and she's just going to put her hand on it and say stick. And then it's going to turn into her staff of woodlands. So she's grabbed that now, and then she's going to use that to cast Speak with Animals before she gets on the horse that's been assigned to her, or the horses that are available there. So, yeah, I'm casting Speak with Animals, and I would go up then to the like horses that are there, but the sheriff is providing. Which one of you wants to be my friend?
Give me a animal handling, or
yeah, sure. You fucking kidding me? A nat 1, 9.
a horse with like one eye that's much larger than the other, and a tail that is just like a little stump and like split ends.
Yeah.
Just immediately turns around and is just like, I'm down.
I love it. I'm gonna name you Perfect. And so there's that, and then whichever one Crum goes toward, I want to ask it its name so I can introduce Crum to the horse if possible. So
Crum, having never met/ridden a horse, you've got there was 4 to choose from. I think Perfect has now been taken, but you can approach any of the 3. They are unremarkable in most ways, but how does Crum handle this current task?
Crum like sneaks behind the horse and goes, all right, and now which part is the chair?
Cassie, you see Crum approaching the back of a horse. Do you intercept at all to prevent possible?
Yeah, I'm gonna
disaster here?
Whoa, buddy! You're talking to the wrong end over there. Come up here front. Look it in the eyes. Get to know it. Horses love it when you look them in the eyes, right up close.
Crum gets like really close to the horse's face.
Yeah.
Hello, horse. I'm so sorry. I think I have to use you as a chair.
Is it okay
My
if he
name's
rides
Crum.
you? I ask the horse.
This horse is just like, yeah, that's fine. That's what we do.
He says he's thrilled to have you, Crum. What was your name, Mr. Horse?
He is it Crum too?
I never had a name.
How do you like the sound of Crum 2?
That's about as good as anything else that could have ever been said
He
in this
loves
moment.
it. He says hop on up. Crum 2's the name.
All right, it's not Crum 2 as in the number. It's Crum 2 as in TOO. This is also Crum.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
What y'all
like-
spelling over there?
Slowly climb
Yeah.
on top of the horse.
Does he have to make? If he has to make any sort of check, I will pat him and give him guidance on this. I'm worried for.
I think you're okay. I think you avoided disaster by approaching Crum 2 from the rear, but I think Crum is also at least capable enough of observing Whiskey, hopping up and sitting in position to understand how this works. And but Crum, as you climb aboard this horse and get a feel for the reins, and there's a learning curve here for sure, but you kind of realize like, okay, I'm sitting on it. And as you do, you hear a voice in your head speaking quietly, and it just says, "You will ride this steed towards the priest, and you will end him." Ride quickly. Ride.
All right.
Fades away.
Oh, man. He never sticks around for a conversation.
I look down I don't know who the hell he's talking to. I was perfect.
There are horseflies around?
Ella's been observing this, and there's like 4 layers of incomprehensible conversation going on right now, and she just nods her head or shakes her head, and she's like, all right, fine, let's get riding. And she kicks her horse into gear, and you see that she's tied her hair up, and you see that she has slung a rifle over her back, over her shoulder, and that she seems a bit more of like, this woman might be a little more capable than she initially appeared. And she might have been hiding behind the sheriff for a bit. Sheriff Wheeler, little halfling guy, stands on the porch of the bar, has hands on his hips again, and then lifts a hand up and wave, and is like,
bye, Sheriff Wheeler.
Good luck, y'all. You're gonna need it.
You're not coming, Sheriff?
I gotta watch out for little moonshine. But don't worry, I'll keep things all good here, and when you're back, drinks on me.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
And if it looks like we're gonna die, we'll tell them that you sent us, so you can they'll come here and you can handle them after we're gone.
Sure. Yeah, hopefully you don't. Hopefully you don't die, and if you do, well, I'm gonna draw the best poster y'all have ever seen, or won't see because you'll be dead, but it'll be nice. Don't worry, folks will remember you. No, we hadn't decided yet. The TBD4.
TBD4.
Well, I like that. I like that.
Work in progress. He starts
The group could also be
pulls out a
called
little
Crum
sketchbook.
2.
From 4.
From
no,
4.
We'll work on it. Don't you worry, Crum.
Is that Crum 2 spelled like the number, or is that one also TOO?
Well, I suppose we should be 4.
There's Crum also, the horse. And there's Crum 2, the name of the 4 of you.
That'd be Crum squared now, wouldn't it?
Crum squared. All right, you all depart, and as the sun, nears its apex in the sky, you head out into the Wild West towards Kobold Gulch.
I do want to warn everybody. I might owe some kobolds in this place money. It's entirely possible. So they might come after us a little harder. Who knows?
If we ride fast enough, we don't want to be talking to any of them.
I think we should be friendly, at least. I mean, what if they want to talk?
As the 5 of you make your way through the arid plains here, you do reach the dried up mouth of a river. Sort of funnels down into a dried up river bed, and you see the earth cracked a bit where water would run through, and as you kind of walk along, your horses are at a nice walking pace right now. You see the riverbed kind of rise up on the sides and kind of create a canyon that you're being funneled into. And at a certain point, you realize like it's getting a bit more narrow. You can still ride next to each other, but it's not quite open desert at this point. And you have to be a little bit more careful because there's various rocks and stuff like that. And as you're walking, you might all hear there's some like rocks pushed out of place on the sides of this canyon, and look up to see in little burrowed holes are a couple kobold faces peering out at you. Nothing too keen on sticking around. They kind of check you out and then kind of burrow back in, but you can kind of tell like there's some eyes on you. They seem to be letting you pass at the moment. At a certain point, your horses kind of neigh and step up over a thing, get a little bit nervous, and you look down and you see some of their hooves are slipping into looser sand. And they all kind of back up a bit, and Ella pulls the reins of her horses, and she's just like, "All right, boys, this is where we start riding."
Can I cast Pass Without Trace on us as a group right now?
Yeah, I'll just tell you that it won't be super necessary if you want to save the spell slot.
Oh,
but,
I have it at will, so it is not a spell slot.
I would say, yeah, you just probably do it at all times, and like, yeah, that's probably like kobolds are nice and perceptive, and they probably have like little kobolds just going to be like, I'm going to be looking at this riverbed regardless.
Yeah.
But it probably helps that you're traveling very, you're not making a lot of ruckus.
Yeah. We're
As
not
you
leaving
go, the horses
footprints
are
if
not.
people are coming after us, I guess maybe.
Exactly. So it's like that's probably why they're just sort of like, all right, they don't seem to be an issue because you're passing very gently through this riverbed.
Can I give I've got working together as a team, I've got little gifts I want to give to Bond Crum 2. Crum 2.
Crum 2.
And so I'll go to Cassie, and I've got I've got this little a poker chip I won off the devil himself. This will give you advantage on intelligence checks. You can't be surprised while you're not incapacitated. And in addition, you can invoke it as a bonus action to enter prophetic state for a minute until you're incapacitated. Until the state ends, when you or another creature you can see within 60 feet makes an attack roll or saving throw or an ability check, you can use your reaction to give them advantage or disadvantage.
Well, hell.
This is the storm rune on the Rune Knight fighter, if you want to look it up. To Whiskey Waltz, I'm gonna.
I want to say thank you when you give it to me. First of all, before you start moving on. First, I'm gonna say
what?
you're
What?
you're just gonna give this to me. You don't want to play cards for it, and I whip out my deck of cards. I'm like shuffling it with one hand. You sure?
Maybe a hand later when we'll play double or nothing. I'll get it back.
I like the sound of that. We'll see. And I'm spinning the coin in my fingers now, and I put it in my pocket, and that's
Doing that cool full
exactly.
four-finger
Yeah,
trick.
super cool. Imagine I was cool enough to do it in real
Yeah,
life.
but we can all do that in fantasy.
Perfect.
Whiskey, I'm gonna give you this really nice little birdhouse. It's got some chamfers cut into it.
Okay.
Because it's really well made.
Kyle doesn't know what a chamfer is, but Whiskey does. He grew up with some. He spent a lot of time with some dwarves, and so he's a human, but he has spent a lot of time with crafty dwarves, so he admires the craft work.
But yeah, I give you this birdhouse. This birdhouse I made that's so nice the wind came in it to live there. And this is going to be the cloud rune. You have advantage on sleight of hand and deception checks, and once per rest you can use your reaction to, if you or someone within 30 feet is hit by an attack, you can choose someone else for it to be the target of the attack instead.
Cool. Is there a check for that, or is it just once I get to use my
No,
reaction?
you just get to use the reaction once. You or someone within 30 feet of you gets hit. Someone else within 30 feet of you gets hit instead.
Cool.
Yeah. Here's this birdhouse. The wind lives there.
Well, I look in there, and this will go nice.
Blowing up my mic, a good thing for me to do on a recording.
Can I say hi to the wind? Is it in there?
Oh yeah, sure.
Hi.
Big time.
Thanks for blowing the leaves in the trees.
Nice to see you again, Wind. And I put him in my pocket.
And Crum, I'm gonna give you a little. It's like a necklace made of bull oak, like beads of wood. and this is the hardest wood there is from one of the hardest trees I could find. This is the hill rune. You have an advantage on saves against poisoned, resistance to poison damage, and as a bonus action, you can get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for a minute.
Oh,
and
well.
All of these refresh on short or long rests.
Well, thank you. I sure hope I don't get poisoned, but I have been poisoned before. It was terrible. But,
tell me about that.
You know, it could get worse.
It always get worse.
Not to call you out at all, Charlie, but I think it's like this is definitely how like myths get made. Is that like someone just hears it and then hypes it up more, and it's just like, this is the hardest wood, and you said, yeah, this is the hardest wood from the hardest tree I could find.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay. This is the hardest wood from the hardest tree on the earth. It's like, sure.
He only lives near soft wood trees. Yeah, so it's kind of.
Well, I went to the forest of bull oak trees and went like, bull oak's the hardest wood that there is, and I tested each and every tree and cut down the hardest one there was in that forest. You know that Valley Jack can find whatever tree he wants to find.
Can you find my cheating ex?
Oh.
He's a tree. So
Crum will take this necklace, put it over. You see
Investigation check?
he has a talisman as well around his neck. Puts it right there with it.
Ella is
I'm sorry I didn't get anything for you, Ella.
I reach
That's
into
all
my
right.
pocket and offer her a scorpion that I just had in my pocket. You want this?
she like quickly recoils from a living scorpion and is just like, I'll be fine, but thank you.
All right.
It's a kind gesture.
Okay. And I just
Crum goes, I'll take it. I'll take the scorpion.
okay. No eating. You promise?
I wouldn't eat him. It's a friend.
Okay. Yeah, he is friendly. Here you go. Give Crum.
I put him on top of the horse's head.
The
Normally
scorpion
I'd
just
be
kind of
worried, but he's resistant to poison.
scorpion just lightly grips each ear and is just like bracing for departure.
I've heard about a scorpion riding on an animal
They
No,
usually
the
ride
fable
on
of the-
frogs, but every now and
Yeah.
then they'll do a horse. Yeah.
Yeah, something to do with crossing a river, but we're kind of cutting through an old river, so it's not quite kind of the same.
I don't think it applies.
All right, well, if you're all ready, Ella has made it clear this is where you start to really ride. She encourages Crum to just hold on as tight as possible, and we are going to take off down Kobold Gulch.
Yeah.
And if we're all ready to go, this is going to be a skill challenge to start, but I do want to get an initiative roll ahead of time, just in case we need to see how things go. So why don't you all
Sure won't be.
roll me some initiative?
We won't be no keys.
Ooh, I rolled bad. I rolled 7. Oof.
I rolled a 1. Plus 2. It's a 3.
Valley Jack knows what he's doing. Chamfers moving up with a 18 initiative.
Well,
Wow.
coming up right behind Valley Jack is, of course, Perfect the horse with a 17. So, you're right behind
17.
Chamfer.
All right.
Yeah. It is appropriate that Crum would get the 1. He doesn't know how to ride a fucking horse. He's not going to be leading the way.
Just like, go horse. Yeah, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
doing
Scorpion.
Yeah.
Scorpion, tell the horse to go fast.
doing some shit where you're like trying to get comfortable and like move your leg up and just like completely off balance.
Okay. With Crum taking up the rear, you all burst down the canyon through Kobold Gulch, kick up a bit of dust. Your departure is, surprisingly quiet thanks to Cassie's Pass Without Trace. But the dust trail you leave certainly provides evidence of your previous location, and you begin to weave through Kobold Gulch, a dangerous terrain which most people will choose to take, of a longer route, travel for an extra day to avoid this. Ella is out front and handling her horse well. And as you all ride, you are wary of obstacles and things like that. So we're going to do our first layer action here. And let's just start with how my screen is structuring the order here. And we'll go clockwise. So Whiskey Waltz, give me a D8 roll, please.
A D8, just a straight D8. Got an 8.
Ooh, an 8. That's that's good. And you are feeling the wind at your back, or perhaps from your backpack, pushing you forward. The four of you are riding smoothly. Crum is probably taking advantage of some slipstream being created here to keep up. And even Perfect is doing a great job of just powering through.
Ride with the wind, boys. Just ride with the wind.
And you make it through just fine. And as you ride, you do see, more kobolds kind of peering over ledges and out of little burrowed holes in the sides of this canyon here. They all kind of just observe as you pass by. Don't create much issue. But as you ride, you're pushing hard, avoiding loose sand. If you move quick, you won't sink in. And at a certain point, kind of come even with a part of this ridge that up above you to your right kind of flattens out. You see some trees up at the edge of this canyon, what was formerly a river, and you hear the rumbling of stagecoach wheels. And as you're riding, you see their dust trail kicking up as well. And as they come close to the edge of the canyon here, you see a stagecoach pull into view. At the reins sits a large, muscular man with long, flowing hair. He's got no shirt on, but he's got like a necklace with bones on it and a headband holding the hair out of his eyes. And just tanned as all hell from being outside all the time. And you quickly recognize his face from the wanted poster. And as you look up, he shouts down over the roar of hooves. And he's just like, "Ella McCoy, we knew you were running. We knew you'd come back. We came out here to meet you. You won't be taking us down." As the man from Yellowstone whips the reins again, his two workhorses keeping pace with you in this stagecoach. Kind of peeking out of windows, aiming their rifles down at you. You see a few masked bandits, just part of the Seven's posse that they've recruited. And as they begin to aim, the road that the man from Yellowstone is on kind of pulls away from the canyon and fades out of view for a moment as you continue to ride down Kobold Gulch. Crum, give me a D8 for the next layer action here.
A 4.
A 4. Now the sand here, this former riverbed, is dried up, but it's dry as all hell now. And things can loosen up and it gets quite dusty. And as you're forced to kind of follow the curves of the river and maybe kind of get closer or further away from each other, you kick up a bunch of dust that you have to, shield with a bandana or your arm or something like that. And you all kind of get some dust in your face. And everyone can give me a Constitution save as you hit a little cloud of dust.
That's a 10 for Valley Jack.
That's a 10 for whiskey as well.
That is a
Plus
17 for Casino.
15 for Crum.
Casino, I like that nickname. Cassie and Crum are fine. You've Cassie probably eats dirt. Who the hell knows? And Crum just sort
lived in dirt.
Powers through. But Valley Jack and Whiskey Waltz, perhaps you fell back in the riding order and the dusts from Perfect, who takes really dramatic steps. Cassie's horse, just like really big, tall steps. kicks up some dust.
I'm
and,
whispering tips
gets
in
your
his
eyes.
ear to like run more gracefully because I'm used
More
to being a
efficiently.
horse. Yeah, I'm like, look out for this sand here. I'm a very good rider.
Yes. So Whiskey and Valley Jack fail that check, and attacks against you have advantage for the next round here.
Oof.
And which is unfortunate because all of this sudden, as you are riding Valley Jack, you cover your face, the dust clears, you kind of pull off to the right to get out from behind perfect, and you are just getting your vision back as you see this stagecoach crash down into the gulch with you, and immediately land in stride with you, and immediately fall into pace as the bandits stick their heads out, and you
Hey, we're
see
riding here.
you see a lithe figure crawl out of one window and very gracefully flip themselves backwards and up onto the roof of the stagecoach. They've got their hair in a ponytail, and their cloak is kind of billowing in the wind now. And they get to their feet, and through magic or just great sleight of hand, 2 knives appear in each of their hands as
City kid.
Squid City Kid is now on top of the stagecoach. And we're going to properly enter initiative here. You are both affected by the dust for this round, but very luckily, you rolled great initiative, Valley Jack.
Yeah, going too fast.
You actually have the first action here as the stagecoach enters the gulch.
All right. How far ahead is this stagecoach from?
So I'm not going to worry about speed too much in this thing. This will be if you want to get further away for ranged to work. If you want to get close for melee to work, that's fine. I don't really want to deal with it. And how far ahead, if you'd like to pull up past your friends, past the stagecoach, sure. If you'd like to fall back, but basically everyone's sort of in pace with each other, and everyone's about a turn away from each other, depending on what you'd like to do. I guess I will also say that you are entering some combat here, and the stagecoach itself is a target, and it's got 3 primary sections. It's got its control, the reins themselves, the frame, including the roof, and the wheels. And you can impact certain elements of the stagecoach for desired results, or of course target the individuals on it. But yeah.
Cool. Is there like a clear way like around the stagecoach, or is it kind of like filling up the gulch kind of?
It kind of comes and goes. The gulch gets wide at some points and thin at some point. But yeah, if you were to, sort of use your movement to be a horse's length in front of it, I think that would be possible.
Okay. I think I'm going to. So we got the Squid City Kid up on the top of it right now, and we saw masked people on the sides of it.
Inside, but kind of leaning out the windows.
Okay. I think I'm gonna start off by I will try to go around the thing, get near the man from Yellowstone.
Yeah, he's at the front seat. He's controlling the thing. He's got the reins in his hands.
Cool. I think you'll see. Let's just go for it, baby. Valley Jack and Chamfer come through this cloud of smoke or a cloud of dust. They look huge. They look bigger than anyone's ever seen them. As Valley Jack takes on his giant of legend form, and he's going to take out his rope of entangling, this rope he taught that, I don't know what the story is of the rope. I didn't go on.
He probably lassoed the moon or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. The rope that He lassoed a derailing train to and he sends the rope at the man from Yellowstone. They have to do a DC 15 dex save.
When he lassoed the train, was it like Spider-Man 2 and he was at the front of it and he was throwing the ropes at trees?
What was the save again?
15 dex.
Man from Yellowstone gets a 16.
Fuck.
On his save as he lifts an arm up and whacks the rope away just as it was about to fall over his head.
Okay. I was gonna be nice to him and just fuck up the wheels to this thing. But I'm kind of mad at it now. I'm going to make I'm gonna swing my big rail at him.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh. Not beautiful. My character sheet. I believe that's a 15.
15 hits.
15 hits. That's going to be 14 damage.
Wow. Okay.
On that first attack. And I will take one on the wheel.
Was the rope a bonus action?
I'm action surge.
Oh, of course.
Starting off with the action surge. Good.
Yeah, let's go. Let's let it.
I thought it was going to be really cool when it all worked. God damn it. Okay. That's a 12 on the cart wheel.
Just the angle that you're swinging low on your big horse, it's a little tough to get purchase on the wheel. But yeah, you ride up this massive horse, gets alongside with the stagecoach. The bandits inside are just like, he must be 12 feet tall, and are just like reacting to suddenly their vision is gone as the body of a horse covers the windows. Man from Yellowstone blocks your lasso. You whack him with your rail, but he takes the hit and just kind of flexes it off, and it's just like, and seems to take it in stride. You hit him good, but he's not that phased. And he's swinging down at the wheels, but Chamfer has to dodge out of the way of a rock and kind of messes with your swing a little bit.
Trying to stick my rail through the spokes. And doesn't work as well on not a bike.
After that is Cassie.
I have a few questions about the mechanics of this encounter then.
Of course.
If I were to cast Erupt Earth underneath the stagecoach, how is that going to affect the rest of us who are maybe behind it, I guess?
What's the
how does Erupt Earth?
Diameter of
Erupting Earth? It's 20 foot. It's a 20-foot cube of churned earth and stone erupt from the center of a point that I pick.
I would think that if you did it immediately, on this turn, I think it would cause some problems because the stagecoach kind of slammed in from the side and then assumed the middle position. But if you were to give a heads up and delay that action, not hold an action, but simply delay it, you could all arrange to be on one side. I think as it stands, you'd probably have to hit at least side of the stagecoach as well as the ground it's on.
Okay.
But yeah, it wouldn't affect the entire gulch here. I think you could narrow it a little bit.
All right. I don't know if I'm enough of a planner to spread that word to the rest of the group that they need to move over.
You can very much go for it and make everyone make the save. That's for sure.
I'm not enough of a planner to yell, but I don't think I want to endanger everybody either, at the same time. So I just think I just won't do it. And here's another question then. If I were to reduce one of the wheels or one of the horses, do we think that will flip the stagecoach and cause trouble for the other people? Similar problem is where I'm asking, basically.
Yeah, give me an insight as Cassie kind of sizes up her move.
That's a good way to do it. How about a 16 on that insight?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So this stagecoach, some are fancy, some are cheap. This one seems like they certainly knew that they were about to go pick a fight, and it's not so easily, turned over with a little pebble or anything like that. But you kind of pick up these wheels simply have to be exposed. And as you do damage to certain parts of the stagecoach, it will falter and the wheels can kind of cause problems. You probably won't halt its movement entirely by destroying a wheel. It can probably last on a broken wheel, but it'll certainly, cause a disruption.
All right. And my final questions about all of this is there's a man on top of the stagecoach.
Yes.
Okay. And how big is the stagecoach? How many feet?
It's about 10 by 10.
Okay. 10 by 10. Okay. And would you consider the stagecoach to be secured? Would it get pushed if I thunder waved, or would only the person on top of it get pushed? How do I make another insight on how heavy I think it looks?
Yeah, I think just based on the fact that it's attached to horses, there are at this point 6 people in or on it, that the whole stagecoach wouldn't move. But certainly if you're not inside and or holding on to something, big problem.
All right, well then, I'll yell at everybody to maybe get to the side, but then I'm gonna ride up next to it, so that I'm as close to it as I can get, I guess.
Yeah.
And then cast Thunder Wave, but also specifically positioning myself, if possible, to not hurt the horses when I cast Thunder Wave.
Yeah, definitely.
They didn't do anything wrong, because that's only a 15-foot area for Thunder Wave that it affects.
For the listeners, in my Western setting, horses have video game mechanics. You can just whistle and they'll show up, or you can just tell them to leave and they won't get lost. They also are not often targets in combat, but if these psychos want to shoot the horses, well, that's that. That's how it goes. But yeah, you are totally safe to cast this spell without worrying about killing an animal in the process.
All right, great.
They climb through walls too, right?
Well then,
sometimes they just end up on a roof and you have to reset, or the tokens show up in the audio settings on Roll20. It's that bug happens all the time.
Cassie's gonna then roll up next to the cart, and then for just a second take both of her hands off of the reins to whip out 2 playing cards and slap her hands together with them to make a Thunder Wave spell. So that is, everybody has to make a Constitution saving throw. Anybody who is within 15 feet of me, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to say, because you're aiming kind of away from the front and away from the horses, that Man from Yellowstone being further ahead will probably be out of it, but you could hit the gang in the middle and certainly the Squid City Kid on top.
Perfect. That is what I would like to do then. And that's
con save, you said,
yes,
right?
a 16 save.
Well, not so good for the Squid City Kid.
All right, well, that's good. Everybody who failed the save will take 10 damage. Anybody who passed it will only take 5. And then anybody who failed it, also who's not secured, will get pushed 10 feet away from me.
Wow. So it looks like most of the 3 of the gang members inside, most of them did okay. One just kind of you kind of hear it thud against the far wall as one is just he's in a car crash, but he hasn't rolled yet. He's just doing the thing as he gets tossed around in there. And the Squid City Kid is kind of takes this crouched position as if he's ready to leap at someone and doesn't expect these cards slapped up in the air. And just gets launched backwards and, hangs on for dear life. He's got a safety little rope that you couldn't see dangling off, but you see him just straight up fall off the side and is now dangling, and is going to take him a turn to get back up as he tries to recover. was feeling very cool and very threatening, and then just did not expect to be launched by the wind, and take some damage as well.
Cassie is cackling with delight at him going flying off of the edge.
Yeah, you hear you hear the bandits inside kind of like pull their guns back in, and like two of them are yelling at that dude like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, get your as he's just like like bouncing off the ceiling.
Beautiful.
Very nice. That's going to be the man from Yellowstone, but he is riding the he's controlling the stagecoach, so he can't do much. He is going to basically pull the Squid City kid like closer to the stagecoach and like get the guy a grip. Like, he's not going to pull him back up, but just like he's like flailing tied to a rope, and he kind of gives him an angle like, just grab here and pull yourself up, and then just again kind of keeps the stagecoach running. That will take us to Whiskey Waltz.
Okay, Whiskey, he's gonna ride, and he's gonna be all right, wind, speak to me. And he goes to leap, and he spends a key point to do a his Step of the Wind ability. And he leaps forward, and his jump distance is tripled this round, and he uses this is dash as a bonus action as well, is this ability. So I'm trying to get onto the stagecoach and trying to get to the front of it with this. And so I don't know if I need to make a check with this.
No, I think as a key point and jump, I kind of love that, and I think you get up on 2 feet on top of the saddle. TR kind of gets in position and braces for your departure as you just kind of leap forward, and the roof of the stagecoach is currently unoccupied, so there's plenty of landing room, and we're not using movement, so getting up from prone, no big deal, and you kind of quickly get to your feet.
I said get in front of it, not get on the front of it.
I'm gonna go. He's sitting on the front controlling this, right? The stage.
Yeah, the man from Yellowstone is down in the front on the seat, the bench.
Okay, so when I that's my bonus action. That Step of the Wind is, so I can go up and use my attack action on him, and I take out my club, but what it is just a broken off piano like leg from a piano, and all right, you stop this, and then I like hit him on the head with it, try to hit him.
Yeah, roll some attacks.
It's a 19 to hit.
Hell yeah.
That'll do it.
That is going to be 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
And I'm going to use another key point to do Flurry of Blows, which gets me 2 unarmed strikes. And so I'm going to hit him once, and then I'm going to... Is
that
like
already your bonus action because you Step of the Wind?
Hold on. Yes, wait. Yeah.
But you would have a second
Because
attack.
Flurry of... Yes, you're right. That is, so I already did bonus action.
Yeah, you still have your second attack,
Okay.
though, so you can still take one more.
Yep, and so I'll still take another hit with the piano leg.
Piano club.
Yeah, the piano club.
I love that half the party has a flavored club.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I found this thing and I'm going to hit you with it now.
you fellas know they sell weapons, right?
That was a 22 to hit for 6 damage.
They have guns.
Yes.
22 is definitely going to hit.
Was,
but
16.
similar to Valley Jack, you make good contact, but the man from Yellowstone seems fairly unfazed. You crack him good across the head, and he just kind of slowly turns backwards and looks at you up on the roof and gives you this mean stare like, how fucking dare you? Your piano club kind of splinters at the top a little bit. But yeah.
Strike?
I do have Stunning Strike, yes, but I did
Yeah,
not.
that just...
I don't think I can... Well, maybe I can use it.
You can if you make contact on the second hit there, like since that's the hit you just did. If you'd like to use
I'll
a
spend
key
another
point.
key point to do that. Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
it does not
So
require
I'm
a bonus action.
So that second one bopped him and stunned him, and it's another key point. He's stunned until the next
Well, he'll make a save. What's your
con saving throw? DC 14.
Yeah, okay. DC 14. Let's see. Ooh, if there's one thing the man from Yellowstone has, it's good constitution. He gets a 21 on that. So.
Yikes.
Not
Didn't
fair.
stun him.
You should give them less constitution. That's not fair.
Nothing's fair in the West.
Hey, this boy's pretty tough. I just say that.
As you hit a man who doesn't seem bothered by being smacked in the head with a club.
The person with 11 damage.
We fucking bonked him like 4 times now, pretty good with big heavy shit, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm driving a car."
Maybe try shooting.
Speaking of that, the bandits and the stagecoach kind of get their act together as one of them flies around in there, and they settle him down, and they all just get situated, then aim out of the window and start taking some shots, and they are going to fire some shots with their little rifles at the riders around you. Ella McCoy, by the way, she's got her rifle, but she's gonna stay off to the side and hang back. She'll look for an easy shot, but she's not going to be super engaged in the combat. This is what she hired you for, to be clear. So this is pretty fair of her. They will take some shots. The first one's going to be a miss on Valley Jack. Another terrible roll. Crum, what's your AC? I'm positive I missed it.
18.
Yeah, no, did not hit. And Cassie, that's going to be a hit on you with a 22.
Yeah, that'll hit.
You will take only 4 piercing.
Sorry, re-roll that. Valley Jack. Valley Jack hits the hammer against his rail and makes a big like dong noise.
Ooh, I like that.
Distracts them with his rune shield.
Yeah, they rolled a 2 on the D20 now. Yeah, Cassie, you see this rifle just point right out of the window at you as you got close to cast your spell, and this ding like reverberates, and you see that the rifle just pulls up and shoots right past you.
And I look over my
Perfect
shoulder,
is
and
oblivious.
Valley Jack goes, thumbs up.
He's in full gallop, but he doesn't seem to be moving up and down. He's just perfectly motionless with a thumbs up. Yeah, okay. Great job by those idiots. Crum, your horse is freaking out. Crum, too, is struggling. You're not the smoothest rider, so they're kind of accounting for your balance here. But as the dust settles and the stagecoach collapses in, some action happens in front of you. You hear that voice in your head just says, "Fight, fight!" And you just by pure instinct alone snap the reins, catch up to the crowd, and it is your turn.
Crum has like this wild smile across his face because like this is what he loves. And so can I see the Squid City kid?
Yeah, he's it's not his turn yet, but he's currently dangling off the side. He missed his turn because of the fact that he is trying to not fall off. But yeah, he's on the left of the stagecoach. Since you're in the back, I think it's very easy for you to get to either the left or the right. So yeah, you can get to the left.
I see the guy swinging off the side, and I feel like it's an easy shot. So I take pull out my pistol, and I'm going to attempt to shoot him. Yeah, it's a 26.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
That is only 5 damage, but I'm going to use my bursting shot.
Okay.
Bursting, yeah. So it like take my shot, it hits them, and it like gets like maybe like grazes his leg, and like sticks into the side of the cart, and then explodes. And all other creatures within 10 feet of him take 2d6 force damage.
I'll say with that angle, I think like where he was, I'll say that like the man from Yellowstone is just very much exposed. I think Whiskey up top would not be necessarily in the line of fire from that explosion. There's no reason it would curve around the roof of the stagecoach. But yeah, I think you can hit the 2 people that are outside and nearby each other.
That'll be 9 damage to everyone within 10 feet. So the 2.
Squid City Kid is not having the best day. But the man from Yellowstone, not too bothered by a little bit of shrapnel here and there.
That's my turn.
Excellent. Yeah, get a clean shot on the Squid City Kid is dangling upside down. You know, he got his grip. He's no longer flailing. And as he's about to be pulled up, just shot in the leg. Splinters from the stagecoach explode. And the man from Yellowstone up front is just like, what the hell are you doing? Just like, no idea why he's still dangling. That brings us to the bottom of the initiative, and there will be another lair action. I believe we've had 2. So, Scott, go ahead and give me a D8 roll, please.
A 3.
Oh.
Once again, the commotion, the stagecoach sliding down from the side of the ravine into the gulch kicks up a bunch of dust. Everyone can give me a con saving throw.
Okay.
3
That's a crit.
out of nat 1.
Oh, nat 20, baby.
I hear some bad rolls and some good rolls.
Can I?
Nat 1.
I was gonna ask. I swear before he said he had a nat 1, but can I use the poker chip on saving throws? Was that part of it too to give them advantage?
The poker chip, you have to use a bonus action to trigger.
I thought it was
and
a
then
reaction.
Once you've done you have to like go into a trance.
Oh,
effectively.
okay, gotcha.
So once you've done the bonus action, from then on,
Sorry, Kyle,
as your
fucked.
reaction for a minute, you can give advantage or disadvantage on any d20 roll.
Okay. Sorry, I would help.
Cassie
you, Kyle.
put that away for a special occasion and realized one presented itself immediately.
Yeah.
23 for me.
23 for Valley Jack. Whiskey.
Nat 1.
Beautiful. Crum.
Crit for 24.
Whiskey
Beautiful.
cannot handle the dust.
Okay. I don't know what he's
Cassie.
about to.
Cassie also.
Crum's teeth are covered in it. Like, he's just smiling, and it's just like,
Inhaling it.
Cassie also crit for 21, so just no problem at all.
All right. It seems like I'm trying to logic this, but somehow the guy who's highest above the dust just got a mouthful.
He was
And,
right by the
whiskey
explosion
sprayed.
when it went off. That's
Yeah.
what caused it.
Just like a dirt clod fell off of a higher space on the gulch and
Yeah.
just hit him in the face.
just hit you. Yeah, it seems like you were targeted by the nature here. Rough. Yeah, attacks against you will
The
still
wind
have
don't like
advantage.
being stepped on. That's what you get, buddy. All right.
Yeah, let's see if the bad guys can actually take advantage of this advantage they have here. And the stagecoach is in perfect health here. And we're back up to the top, which is Valley Jack.
Okay, so let me just get a vibe on the man from Yellowstone. How much, like, is he, like, right on the edge of the stagecoach, effectively? How far is he from the edges of the stagecoach?
He's actually pretty secure. The bench up front could fit 2 people, and he's kind of squarely in the middle. So he's got reins of both of the horses, and is basically prepared to kind of tank a little bit to keep this thing on the straight and narrow.
How far is it, like, forward for him?
Well, what do you mean? Like, he's right behind the horses. There's about a few
So he
feet
would just,
between
like,
them.
If this thing
Fall
suddenly
into the-
stopped, would he go? How would he go flying off?
He'd probably, I mean, the horses and the reins and all the connections and stuff like that, like, to be honest, probably a pretty safe place to fall. Wouldn't be the most convenient to, like, get situated again. But yeah, he's not, like, he's not very exposed.
Okay. And our boy, the Squid City Kid, is still just kind of dangling there.
Yeah, he's, like, secure now, but he'll be kind of ready to go on his next turn, barring any truly horrific fails.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to grab Squid City Kid and throw him back off So give him a shove off of the edge of the
Okay, yeah.
I would like to use. I do have my own feature where I can use a reaction when someone is making an attack to add a d6 to what they're doing. So.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what my athletics check is, because it's going to be pretty damn good, because I crit. That's a 30.
Plus 5, so 35.
Gosh.
30, so that's a 28. 28 plus 5, so 33. I rolled a d6 here.
Okay, let me just
33.
roll. Let me roll to see if he beats a 33.
Big City Kid strong?
Man, he got a 23. Not even that bad.
Wow. Yeah, I just fucking pick up Squid City Kid by the head and throw him off the fucking guy.
He's like you kind of like Valley Jack. You kind of pull back on Chamfer. You situation like you switch sides of the stagecoach, and you see this guy climbing up. And just as he's like about to pull himself up and be right behind Whiskey Waltz, you just reach up and just yank him back over, and use the little momentum from your horse, and he just goes slamming back upside down against the stagecoach again, and truly having the worst day of his life.
I'm going to make a swing against the man from Yellowstone, too.
Okay.
That is a 13.
That'll miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like, he's got enough room to kind of scoot to the side if he needs to. He kind of puts up an arm. Surprisingly strong. Kind of knocks away your rail, which again is tough to get a good angle on while you're at full gallop. And he manages to avoid that blow. Anything else from Valley Jack?
That's it. Valley Jack's right in alongside the front of this, keeping an eye on Whiskey, making sure he's there to catch him if he falls.
All right. Cassie, that's you.
Well, he's there to catch Whiskey if Whiskey falls, and I told everybody to get to the side. So if they don't want to do it, that's on them. I can't force anyone to do anything, but I can force this wagon to make a check. Then a wagon make a dexterity check when I cast Earth Eruption underneath it.
I think is
Yellowstone
that a
make it
dex
'cause
save?
he's driving?
It is Erupting Earth. It is a dex save. Yes. Choose a point you can see. 20-foot cube. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes...
Okay, I will have
Yeah.
Yellowstone roll it, but you're trying to, like, because this is the Earth, I'm going to say this impacts the wheels of the stagecoach here. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll have him roll at disadvantage. I would feel like being, dexterous while controlling an unwieldy vehicle
Makes
will be
sense, yeah.
tough. But yeah, he'll roll it. Otherwise, an inanimate object can't.
Yeah.
And what's your DC again?
16.
Well, one of the D20 was a 19.
Mm-hmm.
But because I have to take the lowest one, that's a 1.
I like this.
So that's a crit fail. Yeah, the man from Yellowstone was like giving this like just an obnoxious smirk to Valley Jack when he just kind of like pushed away your rail swing there, and he just had his eyes on a different target. Suddenly looks down, the horses both kind of buckle and like they leap over it, but he's just not ready for it, and the whole stagecoach just takes this sickening like thud and hits this earth as it just starts to crumble and explode underneath. Again, the guys in the back, they're not as affected, but are just like bouncing around. I have no idea how to like brace for these sort of things.
All right. Well,
Yeah, roll damage and it'll apply to the wheels.
all right. Well, it wasn't great damage, unfortunately, but it's 17.
17 is enough to break one of the wheels. And every time a wheel breaks on the stagecoach, any creature on top of the stagecoach makes a dexterity saving throw, which is
Dexterity
Whiskey
saving
Waltz.
throws. Whiskey! 25!
Woo!
He's surfing.
I think you
are-
just see Valley Jack's just like eyes go wide, just like we have a drunk guy on top of a crashing stagecoach. What can I do? And you're just like riding that shit.
Whiskey Waltz. The stagecoach bounces up as the earth explodes, like hitting a pothole, but it's magic. This would, launch anyone unprepared. It buckles the stagecoach, so even landing back down on it, it's not fully level anymore. How does Whiskey just completely survive this this situation?
You just see him like stumbling around on top, and he's just like, I say nothing. This is like 5 or 6 drinks in. I do this all the time. Woo!
The man is just dancing aboard the stagecoach. Right. Beautiful.
Truly vaudevillian.
I mean, he's disgusting, but that kind of works for Cassie, this vibe he's got going right now.
He is so gross. I mean, look at that beard. Disgusting.
Disgusting.
You know what? I do have some stubble right now. 5 o'clock shadow from yesterday's shave.
Anything else from Cassi No Sense?
What
here?
a great question. If seeing real quick if I have any bonus actions that I could possibly take of value.
Triggering the poker chip would be a bonus action if you want to do that.
All right. Well, I do it. I trigger the poker chip. Aha! I'm feeling so
Beautiful.
lucky after making that thing erupt that I grab that chip and I just hold it tight. Yeah.
Holy shit. Cassie's in full gallop and still doing that cool finger trick. Yeah. Awesome. After that, the fucking Squid City Kid gets a turn. I'm just going to let this idiot get back up onto the stagecoach.
Do this.
Now there's 2 idiots up there.
Now there's 2 idiots up there. Whiskey Waltz, you just did this incredibly Jack Sparrow-esque balancing act.
He is kind of a cowboy.
As you survive, and like the bump, honestly, like we'll just say the Squid City Kid like got a real help by just getting like kind of tossed back up onto the roof, and it lands on his back, and it's just like, oh, kind of like gets to his feet. And you turn around and you see him again just summon these 2 knives from somewhere.
Oh, boy.
And he looks at you and he just looks like a guy who's just been thrown around on a stagecoach for a couple seconds. And he looks really upset by that. And he's going to take a couple attacks at you. That's going to be a 17 on the first one.
That's going to miss.
And a 21 on the second.
Oh, it hits.
He's getting up close, and immediately he just kind of comes at you, and he's, right up in your grill, and he's throwing them, and you kind of sidestep one and throws another one from the other hand, and it catches you in the side. You're going to take 6 piercing, and he has advantage on that. I'm just going to see
if
he
does.
Crits on any of those. No, the other one won't hit. You're going to take 6 piercing. And immediately after he throws the first 2 more appear in his hands, and he squares off against you. He is going to actually that'll be it right there. He is back in the zone, and that will take us to the man from Yellowstone. He is going to let go of the reins and take a swing at Valley Jack. Horses can take it from here. It's a 16 to hit, Valley Jack.
That is my armor class.
Alrighty.
Valley Jack.
Is it my turn? Did Whiskey have a turn yet?
You're next.
Okay.
Last time, these people didn't get to go necessarily.
That's okay.
Yeah, the first round of combat was real bad for them. Okay. And sometimes Yellowstone has to control the stagecoach.
But that one doesn't have wheels.
He lets one hand of the reins go, holds onto the other, reaches down below him at his feet, and pulls out his trusty battle axe, swings back at you. A little more wieldy than a rail line. Whatever. We need to... Is it a rail? What's the word for a
I think
singular?
It's just a rail, right?
It is a railway, right?
Rail. Yeah.
A railroad rail. A little more wieldy than that, and he slashes at you for 7 damage with his battle axe.
Down to 4 because I've got heavy armor.
Beautiful. Jeez. That's going to go to Whiskey's turn. You are squared off on your feet on the stagecoach with Squid City Kid right up in your grill.
You hit me. That's hard to do. Hey, you want to play? You want to play a little rock, paper, scissors? And I show him. I bring out my fist, and it just says "rock" on like a tattoo on his fist. And he swings at him for a punch there.
I only use scissors.
It's a 19 to hit,
That'll hit.
and that will do 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And then he's going to
Yikes.
spend a key point to do flurry of blows, which gets him
You
two
got
other
your-
ones.
You got your multi-attack, so you could do a second and then flurry.
I think. Oh, is it work that way? I thought it was. So that gets me 4 attacks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you
Nice.
got the multi-attack
So
like
I-
a fighter, and you can always the free bonus action, just one punch, or you can flurry of blows for the extra 2. So you like can literally always do 3 punches as a monk, or use a key point to do 4.
Nice. Well, I'm doing that, and so I'll swing my hand. I punch him in the face. Swing my hand as the hand's coming in. He sees a little like piece of paper tattoo on the palm, and he slaps him across the face, or tries to. Oh, I don't think it's gonna hit. It's a 10.
That'll miss.
Ah! He tries it again.
You really leaned into the rock paper scissors thing. I thought that was a one-off comment. It's like your whole deal.
The second time he tries to do paper is a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
That's 7 bludgeoning damage on the second hit. Mm-hmm. And then he's gonna go scissors. And he's gonna hop up and try and kick him in the head, kick him in the face.
I like how rock is a tattoo of a rock. Paper is a palm, open
Rock is the
palm.
words rock on his fist.
Scissors is
paper
just a
is a
kick
piece
in
of
the
paper
face.
on his. And then scissors, as he kicks, he's kicking for a 19 to hit. And his like pant legs are up, and you do see like each leg there's a piece of there's like one part of the scissors like that like goes up on the insides of his legs, and he hits for a 19 to hit, and that will be 8 points of damage.
Ooh, the Squid City kid is not looking good. You heard tell of this nimble knife master, and yeah, they seem to, he seems to have a limitless supply of knives, but you're up close and you're just like in his zone, and he can't really keep up with your speed. You're just picking him apart, open hand slaps, kicks, punches, and after just recovering from dangling off a stagecoach, it's not looking good.
Good. And with my drunken technique that I have, whenever I use flurry of blows, I get the benefit of disengage action. So I'm just gonna like drunkenly kind of step away from him. Like if I have enough room up there to step away a little bit, then I don't know if I can get. I probably can't get 5 feet away from him. So
he
it
throws
probably
a really
doesn't-
like tired swipe back at you and almost stumbles forward as you just kind of move your torso back and easily evade as you just lay into him a little bit. He's on the ropes for sure. Okay, that's gonna go to the bandits. They are gonna take some shots. They are doing okay in there, and they're gonna aim at people on horses. That's gonna be a 21 to hit Valley Jack
Okay.
for 9 damage, 9 piercing.
Okay.
Gonna be a miss on Cassie, and a 18 to hit.
Crum?
18 to hit Crum.
Okay. I'm gonna use my reaction to Eldritch Invocation, Rebuke of the Talisman. That guy. He's gonna take 3 psychic damage and move 10 feet away from me.
These guys are just like, what's that little like machine? Like the there's like a board game where all the things inside the little orb just like bounce around.
Sorry, yeah, you're like
Just
tapping
like you
those. Sorry,
click it and
mate.
it just like makes them like spasm around in there. These guys are like literally
Trouble?
bouncing around. Trouble, yeah, I think that's the one.
I think
I'm thinking
Trouble's
of.
yeah.
Yeah, just like like bouncing
The
around in there.
Pop-O-Matic sphere.
Yeah. Geez, the guy just like leaned out, got like this perfect like behind the stagecoach shot at you, and somehow is thrusted back inside and slammed against the wall. Very well done. Not on those guys' parts, on your guys' parts. Crum, that's you.
What's the damage on those? I do get hit though.
Oh, on that for the shot, you're gonna take only 5 piercing.
And it's my turn?
Yes.
Ick. Okay. I'm going to mind spike the Squid City kid.
Okay. This guy's getting picked on.
Honestly, he's probably like the only one I see. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's a DC 17 Wisdom save.
Right. Wisdom. There's one thing he's doing. It's not bombing his saves too bad. That's an 18 on the Wisdom save.
Okay.
Is there any half effect?
There is. He's going to take 8 on the half.
Oof. All right. He's not looking great, but hangs on. The legend of the Squid City Kid is not going to have the most glorious end, I've got a feeling. Anything else from Crum?
No, that will be my turn.
All right. That brings us to the next layer action. I believe Valley Jack needs to give us a D8.
That's a 7 from Valley Jack.
Ooh. Valley Jack convinces the wind to be nice and kind to y'all and give everyone
to not
a boost.
fly into Whiskey's face again.
You calm the dust and smooth sailing through here. You reached a nice open area of Kobold Gulch, and your horses are having no problem keeping up with the stagecoach here. And Valley Jack, we are back to the top here. Squid City Kid is squared off with Whiskey Waltz up top. Man from Yellowstone doing just fine keeping this thing on the straight and narrow, but one wheel has been damaged and is spinning a little wobbly here. And there's still 3 bandits inside the stagecoach.
I'm gonna go for a swing at the man from Yellowstone. He came at me with that axe. Let's see what he thinks of a 17 to hit with the rail.
That'll hit.
All right, then let's reroll that. That's a 19 on that first attack.
Damn. Well, as you know by now, he is resistant to this damage, but that'll still do a significant amount.
Oh,
he's feeling it for the first time, and you see him just like give you this look like, what the hell? Like, that actually hurt. And he's kind of sizing you up, and you're huge, but he was confident, and now it's kind of shaking him a bit.
I'll be honest, Valley Jack is dumb as hell, did not see that as damage resistant, saw that as high constitution. But Valley Jack is gonna, I'll make
if
another...
you finally put 2 and 2 together, you're like, most people bleed and or dead when I do are dead when I do that, so this guy must be up to something.
Okay, in that case, I think Valley Jack is focused on one thing and one thing only right now, so it's just gonna give another swing, and that's a miss out of 14.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Okay. Yeah. That's Valley.
All right. Valley's just going at the man from Yellowstone here. Cassi, that's you. Cassi, real quick at the top of your turn, give me an animal handling check.
I would love to give you an animal handling check. How does a 19 suit you?
19 is great. How long does Speak with Animals last? I'll just, I think it's been a while. But
yeah, unfortunately, it would have been used up, and also, is Speak with Animals concentration? Or not? It lasts for 10 minutes.
It's been longer. Again, you took about an hour or so to get to this point, but you've got some you're now very in tune with Perfect, your horse here,
for sure.
And as you ride and kind of try to find your next angle, you try to see if The man from Yellowstone is doing all right. You see the square off at the top, and you pick up on Perfect, kind of like shake his head a little bit and kind of stutter step a little bit. You lose your speed by just a half step, and you realize something's wrong. And Perfect is just like unsettled by something, but nothing's particularly happened around you. You can't see anything. Something's spooking your horse just a bit.
Something is
But it is your turn.
spooking my horse just a bit. Oh, fuck. I have so many things. That changes everything. It changes literally everything about what's happening now.
Nothing could impact me more.
Cassie had all these plans that were just like, if my horse has full confidence.
Well, now I know there's
Horse is
something
the priority.
afoot.
Perfect's one extra large eye is like very wide at the moment. It's very concerned.
I'm trying to think here then. What would be spooking a horse that's actively galloping? And also, if I can help out Perfect by not making him have to deal with this running anymore, then if he doesn't want to go, that's not cool. I'm not going to force him in. We'll tell Perfect that he can fall back if he's afraid then, and I will teleport to be on top of the stagecoach too. That's
Excellent.
my bonus action. So,
Sweet.
I'll just hop on up there too. Here I am, folks. Whisper in the horse, good horsey, and then and I'm gone.
Perfect gives a happy little neigh. I mean, not the happiest, but just like a relieved sort of neigh there. And you appear next to Whiskey and the Squid City Kid.
Holy hell!
And Perfect will stay, at pace, but a few paces back, so is not completely gone, but won't be in harm's way by any means.
All right. That's what I want to hear. And then who all is up here that I can see to attack, I guess?
Squid City, and I think you'd probably be like, it's a little crowded, and based on your angle, there's probably the Squid City and Whiskey are in the way of Yellowstone, but you're certainly equidistant from the other two on top here.
Okay, let's just play it safe since I'm up here, and I will. Ooh, actually, I have a question. Are these knives actual knives? Are they made of metal?
Yeah, they seem to be real.
Okay. Well then,
unclear if this guy has a lot of them or what the deal is.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and make him have to decide for himself, I guess, how many he has and if he wants to let one go, because we're going to cast heat metal on one of the knives in his hand then. So now he has to.
Okay.
Yeah. It just says, I choose a manufactured metal object. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when I cast it. So let's do that first. See how much he takes.
Yeah, upon casting?
Yeah. So he takes 12 damage from the heat metal. And then he has to make if he's wearing or holding the object, he must succeed. He has to make a Constitution saving throw or drop the object.
You see his two, he's got two knives in his hand. You appear, he quickly turns to try to face off now against two opponents, and immediately he realizes one hand is just seared. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. The pattern of the grip is seared into his palm, and he just tosses it aside. And as he grips his hand, which is now unusable, he's just like, my one thing is knives, okay? They don't give me anything else to do. The whole time. Come on, dude. I mean, half the time when I was saving the town in the first place, I was mostly shooting guns despite being the knife guy. This is my thing. Fuck! And just cannot use his hand. Let's go with that knife. It seems unimportant. He drops the other one too. It doesn't seem like he has trouble procuring them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this hand has been rendered unusable, and he's now holding it into his side, and doesn't even seem to have much protection against himself. He's on his, death's door right
I
here.
look at Whiskey and say, like a hot knife through butter.
Oh, very nice.
Wow. Anything else from Cassie?
No, I think that's pretty much all I can do at this point. Yeah.
It is the Squid City Kid's turn. As he holds one hand to his side in great pain, he does procure another one into his other hand. He looks out into the dust. He sees Ella riding off to the side, keeping pace with the stagecoach. He looks at her. He seems to ignore the two of you on top of the stagecoach, and he's just like, Ella, we were protecting you. We were serving a purpose. We were keeping the threats at bay. All you had to do was fall in line. Now you caused trouble. Washington's not going to be too pleased with you. And he throws a knife at her wildly and is going to make an attack on her as his sort of final desperate action here. He does strike her, and you see her catch it in the shoulder.
Ooh, can I use my reaction with my cloud room to direct an attack?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so
let's see it. What do you got?
I ain't gonna do that. And I whip the wind around it, and the wind takes it. And so I don't know if the angle is gonna be good, but it can use this.
It doesn't
rune
matter,
to,
like range or anything. Anyone within 30 feet, you can make it hit.
All right, this seems appropriate, and I fling the knife, and I try to hit the knife guy with it, squid boy.
Right back at himself.
Back at him?
Yeah, like throws
Oh wait,
it.
no, I thought it was the driver that threw it. So I don't know if I can do it right at the same guy with this ability.
I'm down if the rules are open to interpretation. Charlie, maybe you can.
Yeah, I think you. Oh no, it says other than the attacker.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was waiting for.
Okay, so he whips it, and I'm gonna try and hit Yellowstone with it and have it go to the front of the thing. And so
absolutely, and it's just based on the attack roll, because it definitely hits if so.
You can use your reaction to invoke the rune, choose a different creature. They become the target of the attack using the same roll.
Beautiful.
Cool.
A dagger lodges into the back left shoulder of the man from Yellowstone as he, controls the reins, makes sure the stagecoach is moving, and looks back and is just like, "What the hell?" As can clearly tell this knife is from Squid City, who just like looks bewildered down. Like one hand is burnt and the other hand is apparently not responsive to what he wants. And Ella is totally safe. The knife does not go anywhere near her. She kind of pulls away, realizing she could be a target. And the Squid City kid just looks back in bewilderment.
This is embarrassing for you. Knives are supposed to be your thing.
Yeah.
Look, let's be honest. We all know they're not enough of a thing in a world full of guns. Like I said, that's why I use guns half the time. I just had a brand and I had to stick with it because, everyone out here is so judgmental. I had to stand out somehow.
I say, well, knives are definitely your brand now, and I point to his hand.
Good. That's awesome.
Looks like somebody's mad at you for resentful for this whole making him the knife guy thing, Yellowstone.
It is Yellowstone's turn. He is going to again set down the reins. He's going to take a swing at probably two of you here. One at Valley, who's still up in his grill, and Whiskey Waltz with his battle axe. That's a 16 on Valley Jack.
That's a hit.
5 slashing, and he's rolling terrible damage. And that is going to be 8 on Whiskey Waltz.
I'm gonna miss.
He's it's like reaching. It's like a kid in the back seat that you're trying to reach to like fix their seatbelt, and it's just terrible angle. It's never gonna work. But yeah, he's getting pissed off. Whiskey, that is your turn.
I look at Cassie and I take out my piano leg and I say, "All right, I'm gonna boop him on the nose, and he's gonna look real stupid, and then we're gonna fuck him up." And then he swings his piano leg at him.
Why are you saying that?
That's a 19 to hit. Knife guy.
Whiskey, you do exactly as you say, and you bonk the Squid City kid on the nose, and he has a confused look on his face and is just absolutely stunned that you followed through with this exact plan. He wobbles and he begins to slip, and he reaches out with his burnt hand as the only thing he can grab on the edge of the stagecoach, and immediately feels the pressure and goes, ah! The pain of the sear, and he falls off the back into the dust and is trampled by Crum 2 in the rear there as he rolls back into Kobold Gulch out of view and certainly very much no longer alive. The first of the Magnificent Seven has been defeated.
Not so magnificent.
Yeah. Well, never mind. He took care of that himself then. So, should I use my stunning strike key point that I was going to use on that? Because I was going to stun him. I can use it.
Well, you could if you do. You have more attacks, so you can just apply it to a hit. So you wouldn't need to have spent it.
Okay, cool. I do have more hits. Okay, so I turn and I turn to Yellowstone and just. Can I sit next to him?
Yeah.
Okay, so I hop down next to him. Howdy, and I try to hit him with my elbow.
Get him in the side, in the ribs.
26 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that's gonna be a 6 bludgeoning damage.
The man is still healthy, I'll say that.
And that will, so I'm gonna use, let's see, I get another attack, right? Yeah, I'm gonna use one more.
If you'd like, your bonus action can always be a free unarmed strike if you'd like to save your key points.
But if I use Flurry of Blows, that means that I have...
You get 2.
So I get 2 more. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him twice, a couple more times. Elbow once, and then the other one, I'm gonna try and actually use my left hand, swing it across, and hit him. That's a 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
And is 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna headbutt him. 20 to hit.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Again, taking a lot of these blows, but really chipping away at him. You're just right next to him. He's got Valley Jack on one side, Whiskey Waltz on the other, and it's just like he's also got to keep these horses kicking, and it's a lot to handle. So yeah, he's taking blows. He's unable to defend himself as well, and you are whittling away on this guy.
Damn, he's got an iron jaw.
Will take us to the bandits in the back. We're going to take some more shots. They unfortunately don't have angles on 2 of you now, so a couple of you will get more shots. That's a 14 to hit Valley Jack. I believe that misses. Definitely misses. And a 22 to hit Crum in the back there. For 6 damage.
I'll also hit him with that rebuke as well. So 3 psychic damage and 10 feet away.
You see this guy just like shoot back, and then like as he pulls the trigger, you see his face just be like, wait, hold on, something happened last time. Click, and then his head just like slams against the side of the stagecoach, and he just passes out. He is down from that as he did not learn his lesson.
How much was that damage again?
On you, that was 6. All right. Crum, that is to you. Cassie is on top. You don't have a great angle from the back here on anyone else, but the stagecoach is a bit wobbly with one wheel broken. And it looks a little shaky on 3 wheels here.
Can I do some silly shit?
Gladly.
I want to go around to the opposite side of the wheel, the one that has like the messed up wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to like lean down off the horse, and so I could see the other wheel on the other side. And I want to use an Eldritch Blast on the wheel, and use the feature to send it 10 feet away.
Beautiful. Roll attack.
Oh, come on. A crit fail.
No.
Poker chip?
I used the. Did I not use the poker chip to give advantage?
You have it active now as a
I've got it
reaction.
active,
You
yeah.
can use it to give someone.
I just thought I had
advantage
already
if
used it.
Definitely
sure.
been a turn since you've used it.
Yeah, sure. I'll slam. I will slam. I was gonna hit him with the D6, but fuck it. I'll give him the advantage instead.
Yeah, you want to re-roll that one?
I'll be at 27.
A little better to hit than the one.
27. Yeah, that'll do it. Crum. Yeah, look, you just learned how to ride a horse, and no one really told you that. Like, yeah, but typically people don't like sort of dangle off the side. But your complete lack of fear for this situation gives you a perfect angle. You get underneath. You see the chassis of the stagecoach. You aim right at the opposite wheel, and you see the force nudges it, like it moves a full 4 inches off its axle there, and the residual magic of your Eldritch Blast, as you hear a voice in your head just go, yes.
And I also
begins to
just at the same time say yes.
It begins to corrode the wheel, and it just slowly rotates a bit more, disconnects, rolls off. The stagecoach lurches down to its right as the back right wheel is now gone. It begins to drag in the dust. Everything catches. The horses at the front panic and kick up. The man from Yellowstone loses grips on the reins, and the stagecoach itself begins to slide on its base as 2 wheels is simply not enough to support it. And as the horses are sort of disconnected and peel out, you'd expect this stagecoach to simply nosedive into the dirt. Valley Jack, you're still on a horse. Crum, you are on Crum 2. Ella is off to the side. The 2 of you up top feel the lurch as it sticks into the dirt, but you do not see yourself falling back. You do not see yourself slowing. Cassie, you hear a panicked neigh from Perfect somewhere in the back through the dust, and you see the crumbling earth begin to dissolve as something moves underneath. And as you all keep pace and the stagecoach is somehow moving forward, you see the bottom of Kobold Gulch begin to bow in the center and raise in the middle. And as it does, the stagecoach is stopped and not moving, but continuing forward on the back of what you can only tell is a giant purple worm as it rides up through the canyon and begins to propel the stagecoach forward. At this point, we're at the bottom of the initiative. If you're on a horse, you can still be on a horse. You'll be a few feet below the stagecoach, or you can at this time choose to jump off without any much of a check. It's more so you're being split one way or the other, and you can choose to be on worm or stay on horse. So Crum and Valley Jack can react at this time to either get on board or just kind of be.
What's the disadvantages of being on the horse still? Just can't see.
You'll be at range and you'll be a bit lower, so it'll be as this massive worm kind of rises up above the surface. The stagecoach and everyone else on top of it are about 20 feet above you and to the side.
Okay.
20 feet up?
Yes.
I'm just trying to do some math on how big
Imagine
is
you're
Valley Jack.
Imagine you're next to a train. They'll be a bit away horizontally, so they won't be within 5 feet next to you. But imagine they are atop a train, but it's just a round body of an
Alaskan
giant
bullworm.
purple worm.
Okay.
Exactly.
This ain't good.
I think Valley Jack is hopping onto that.
Yeah, I'll hop on the worm. I'll be Crum too. I'll catch up with you later. Hop on the worm. It technically still my turn. I'm going to action search.
Yeah. Let's say you all leap on Valley Jack and Crum. Both are just like, oh shit, I need to stay nearby as Cassi and Whiskey Waltz have nowhere to go. The stagecoach itself kind of like bottoms out and just kind of sits unmoving on the worm, and you're all sort of now still moving very quick, but able to move, front and back on the surface rather carefully. And Crum, you're towards the back here as Crum 2 kind of slows down to give you an angle to jump on. But yeah, you're pretty close and just at the rear of the stagecoach.
Okay. So I'll action surge with my bonus action. I'm going to Hexblade Curse Man from Yellowstone.
Perfect, yeah.
And then I'm going to take a shot with my pistol at him. Okay. That is a 26.
Miss, just kidding.
That'll be 9 piercing from.
Cool, and that's just the physical damage?
Yeah.
Crum, you are in the back. Get an angle on Yellowstone. The lair actions are done for as you are above the floor of Kobold Gulch at the moment. We are going to go up to Valley Jack. Valley Jack, I'll just say that you see, as now that the stagecoach is like not actively moving, you see 2 of the bandits kind of pour out of the doors on either side and kind of enter the fray and are no longer inside. And you are still very near to any of them. Again, not really worried about movement. You're all a turn away from each other.
I'm gonna turn to Man from Yellowstone and be like, is this thing one of the threats Squid City Kid was talking about?
Which threat were you referring to again?
Squid City Kid was talking to Ella about the threats that you guys are protecting Violet Creek from?
We protect Violet Creek from the likes of you. Folks that want to step in and kill people and show what's doing. And various natural threats like this, sure.
Did you know this was here?
Hell no! What the fuck is happening right now?
Okay, then you're not helping. I'm just
I'm not helping you at all.
Way in the back you hear, here comes, is a worm a bug?
Yeah.
Is this your dad?
No, I know my dad. It's probably my mom.
That's a 14 on the first attack.
That's gonna miss.
There we go. That's a 27. What's up?
That'll hit.
What do we got here? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Great Weapon Master coming in, or Great Weapon Fighter coming in clutch. That is 22 damage on that hit.
Nice.
Wow.
656 on my D6s.
Even resistant to damage, the man from Yellowstone takes a staggering blow. You're getting in his head and just being like, he doesn't know what's happening. He just hops down off the side of the stagecoach to swing at you. You catch him first.
Am I still sitting next to him? So can I get a little swing at him as he's leaving the stagecoach if he's going?
Yeah,
after
you're
him?
virtually all sort of there. I'm not going to give you an opportunity to attack, but basically just, yeah, he's truly caught in the middle. I mean, everyone's within 5 feet of him at this point, or at least Crum isn't, but has ranged attacks. But yeah, he's just like trying to get down, trying to get you off of him, and taking this just massive blow from a rail from Valley Jack here.
I'm gonna take the adrenaline hit of jumping onto this purple worm and hitting him, and second wind a little bit, charge myself back up to full health.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Valley Jack's really
Cassi,
railing
that's
this
you.
guy. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, was it your turn?
My turn? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Does Cassi, before we get anything, do I have any sense of what kind of creature this is? Can I make some sort of roll to see if I know what the hell it is? And
I think you've heard legend of
I heard
the great purple worms of the deserts, but you could perhaps find out a bit more if you're super curious.
I'm curious in that I want to know if I suspect it is hostile toward us or if we're just like nothing to it. Doesn't even notice us. Yeah.
Give me a insight or animal handling or just nature, whatever you like.
Take animal handling. And does a 25 good?
No, that's pretty bad. Purple worms have a DC of 30 for just knowing their vibes and personalities. They're really
it's a worm,
reserved
so how do you
creatures.
figure out what a worm knows,
Especially just picking up on, your horse kind of sense like, hey, something's weird about what's underneath me here. You're putting two and two together and thinking like, okay, we were causing some real ruckus and enough that the kobolds of kobold goats were just like, fuck this, I'm not taking a stray bullet. But you must have disturbed one of these worms, and from the surface that you're standing on, it's a purple worm, but the surface is just like dusty beige because of the just like caked on dirt. This thing has not really surfaced in a long time. And you guys were just like stomping around, and this thing basically came up to be like, what the hell's going on? But you're so big, it's so big that it's not necessarily gonna like even tell. It's just like something woke me up, and it seems like it's just kind of on a path of destruction up front, but you're pretty far from it.
All right, good. We're fine on the back. It's not going to attack us. I don't need to attack it or anything like that. That's all I needed to verify. Also, it's cute, and I give it a little pet.
That probably helps.
Yeah. All right, then. Well, everybody's up on this fucking guy already anyway, so there's not a...
And you got the two bandits are now kind of on either side as well.
These
and
two bandits
still have their rifles.
Oh, you bandits, you would still be over there. But I'm just not too worried about the bandits, I'm going to be honest with you. So we're going to take it real nice and easy and just cast... fuck it. We'll just produce flame. I was going to give him frostbite, but I want to know if he's also... immune to fire damage or resistant to fire damage, I guess. So, yeah, we're gonna be aiming at the man from Yellowstone with a produce flame.
What you got?
Easy peasy. That is a 19 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Take it, baby, and then he will take only 6 fire damage. But could be worse.
He's not resistant, but he had enough to survive that. It's just getting hit from 4 angles now.
But she's spawns fireballs like in each hand, like 2 little fire things. She's just fucking cackling, throwing them at him. He's had this sort of arrogance. He's had this toughness because that if he crashed the stagecoach, he'd probably pop up fine. But at this point, he's realizing like he's facing some real opposition, and he's looking very hurt right now. Definitely not a good spot to be in, to be outnumbered on the back of a giant worm, having taken heavy damage.
Yeah,
it's real bad. That is that Cassie? That's your turn?
I don't think it really warrants more than that, our situation. Okay.
Squid City Kid is long gone.
Cassie does say, wait, I forgot one thing on my turn. I turned to Crum. Did you grab the scorpion before you jumped?
Of course.
Oh, thank God.
He takes off his hat and the scorpion's underneath his hat.
Perfect. He loves it.
The man from Yellowstone is no longer worried about the stagecoach. He's pissed. Everyone's been hitting him. He's going to take a couple swings to just try to basically fend off the encroaching pressure from all sides here. He's going to take a swing at Whiskey Waltz for 16. I think your AC is far exceeds that. This dude is reckless attacking and still just whiffing. Look, someone put an end to this guy. Whiskey, you're up.
Okay.
He's reckless.
Yeah, so I get advantage on these.
Yeah, so. Now that he is no longer on a vehicle, he gave it his all. He took wild swings, one at Valley Jack, one at you. You were able to just sort of like slide drunkenly to the right in the front of the stagecoach here. You see him swing. His battle axe gets lodged into the front of the stagecoach, and as he takes a couple jolted pulls to try to pull it out, you realize he's exposed, he's exhausted. What do you do?
I pull up my fists, and knowing that he's like resistant to my damage, and I'm just like, all right, float like root beer, sting like tequila, and I hit him in the side with my fist. That's a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
That's 10 damaged. 10 damage to the side.
Whiskey, unfortunately, he is resistant to your bludgeoning strikes. Fortunately, he halves 10 damage to 5, and he had 5 HP left.
Good.
And to die by a punch to the ribs is unfortunate, but finish him off.
Yep, I swing that fist comes in, it hits a rib, and it's like like Mortal Kombat X-ray, you know, and like cracks the rib. The rib splinters up into his lung, and just you hear this like come out of his lung, and just pops, and he falls over to one knee, and then just face plants on the ground, or on the worm, I should say.
Spits up a little bit of blood, washes away the dirt to reveal the purple hide of this massive worm, and the man from Yellowstone is no more.
Good. The other bandits are clear, are close to me.
They are very close. You have plenty of movement to
Okay, good.
get to them. They have panic on their face. This is all I could describe them as.
I point to him, and I just say, "You want this?" And then I'm gonna hold the rest of my action.
Is this guy drunk? As they
I
square off.
guess of my object interaction, I do want to take out my flask and just.
One fist is held in a punch, and the other one is drinking.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do.
They are going to realize how absolutely screwed they are. And one of them kind of like sits down and tries to slide off the worm. And the other one takes like a unstable jump. And as he leaps, you hear the Wilhelm scream as he disappears into the dust on the side. And, with nothing really holding it in place, with 2 wheels gone and 2 wheels still attached, the stagecoach, just sort of on unstable terrain here, begins to wobble and come apart a little bit, enough for it to sort of basically collapse. Crum, you just kind of step aside as it falls off the worm, and the
TBD4.
The Crum 2.
Oh yeah, the Crum 2. That was our other name.
TBD4 / the Crum 2. Look forward as the great purple worm begins to descend back into the earth, and as it flattens out, you realize Kobold Gulch is opening up wide, and you step lightly back down onto the dry sand as the worm descends into the earth. Ella rides up with all of your horses in tow. You hop on your horses, ride off into the sunset, and crest a hill after a short ride. You see a little town in a valley below called Violet Creek. There's the general store, saloon, sheriff's office, a hotel, and at the far end of Main Street, a little church with a bell tower and the sun setting behind it. And that is where we will end our session for today.
Good.
Real quick before we leave, as we're done and it seems like combat isn't here, just to mess with them, I cast oh my god, what's the fucking opposite of enlarge? Reduce onto Valley Jack, just to mess with them.
Just like stepping off of the worm, being like getting my sea legs
Suddenly,
again, just like
everybody's like head height to you, like you're normally looking over them.
I go up to Whiskey, just being like, You've got 2 already. We've all got a lot to catch up to. And I'm just like looking at you at eye level and being like, what is like, wow, you are the hero of this tale.
I really get that big. Holy, am I
had a
big or you
speech
small?
prepared, and now it's not working.
Now, Valley Jack, you gotta, I don't know where you come from. You're pretty big usually. I don't know what happened right now, but imagine the size of the tequila bottle that purple worm would be at the bottom of. Imagine how big that might be.
Later on, some random citizen sees like your 5 horses and silhouettes on the hill beyond, and they're like, wow, 4 normal sized people and a little guy. It must not be anything important.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Good. So the camera pans out from the story, and we're back in the Western Tall Tale Tavern as this cowboy takes a sip of his dark liquor as he pauses in his story, and we will take the pause here and see where this adventure goes. In a couple weeks is when the next episode will be out. But thanks to all players this week. Bones for being the DM. Thank you so much. Chaz.
Good job, y'all.
Swain and Scott. And all of your socials can be found in the description. If you want to see the video of this episode and you're listening on the podcast, it is up on YouTube. Follow us on Tall Tale Tavern Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Business emails, talltaletavernpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you to Tyler Adelsberger for our intro music. Thank you to Zazar for our artwork. And with that, we will see you next time on the Tall Tale Tavern.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!